YouTube Nation? This is Havoc, the emo, the collector fiend that runs this scene, and today is going to be kind of just a talkie, answering some questions, some updates and whatnot, and yeah, so without further ado, let's get another video through. I'm just going to first off and start with, yes. I'm still doing a review on this guy. What happened to him? What happened to this review? Well, while I was filming, because I wanted to do kind of a longer, more extensive battle fight scene stop motion, and I was working like a day or two on one. It was almost like 2-3 minutes long, and it just kind of got deleted while I was working on it. Just and it was a lot of work that I was just kind of irritated about. I didn't want to have to redo that, that much work, that much stop motioning. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a little break from the Transformers, move over and try to do a comic review. So I did a comic video. I was editing and everything. And before I released it, I basically kind of decided that when I do my comic videos, I'm not gonna go. It's not going to be a straight read through showing off the pictures. I decided against that because I want to inspire people to go and pick out comics, to go hunt down and buy comics, instead of just going online and reading them and scanning them. So I'll do kind of like summarizing the stories, and yeah. So I'll kind of come back to those a little bit. But yeah, it's just been busy. It has been busy. I've been getting all kinds of pre-orders in, so it's been a little bit overwhelming because, for one, being in Oregon, I don't get the best distribution of Transformers. So I'm one of the last people to be receiving figures when you look at, people who do things like this on YouTube. Plus how new I am, there's a lot of other reviewers are already getting these reviews out and seen before I get a chance to. So kind of brings a little bit of the stress down for me. But I'm still planning on doing a review. I'm still planning on getting this Sideburn review out. Just because this is a good video. This is a good figure. I'm just trying to decide if I want to redo the whole stop motion or just stick a normal stop motion that I do with most of my videos. Something simple, throw it in there, and then do the review. That way I could get the Autobot brothers out of the way. There's a lot of cool Transformer stuff. Transformer news. Transformer 1, we're getting an official trailer in space nonetheless. Imagine that. I think this is the first movie trailer to be shown off in space. They're setting off an aircraft at 6 a.m. tomorrow, the 18th. It will go at 6 a.m. Within an hour. It should reach 125,000 feet over the Earth's surface. Still in our atmosphere, slightly outside of our atmosphere, but not necessarily in the void of space. And then there'll be a custom. The review is going to start off with Chris Hemsworth and the voice actor of D16. Gosh, his name's escaping me. But both cool actors. They're going to be doing a little introduction, and then we will get the trailer. So that's going to be cool. First trailer to be shown off from space. They say that the sky's the limit for this movie, and that's one reason they wanted to do this off in space. And the story actually sounds really good. If you want to break down the story real quick, it's supposed to be a whole new, brand new origin story, unlike we've ever seen before, between Orion Pax, D16, both being workers in the, they didn't necessarily say mines, but underneath Cybertron, they were, workers never really got a chance to see the surface. They want to go, they meet up with B16, who I guess is just, they're canonizing B16. I said that in other videos just to get another trademark in, more, they figured they'd make a little bit more money. They could make 2 Bumblebee figures, and yeah, I don't know. Someone thought it was a good idea to just kind of like keep that trademark. So yeah, B16, and they meet up and they end up trying to like, they hear about this like Sentinel Prime, and they basically hear about the surface. They go up, break up to the surface, where Alita 1, who's kind of like an elite guard, tries to arrest them, befriends them, and then they all try to find Sentinel Prime, the Matrix of Leadership, and the transformation cogs, because they don't have the ability to transform. And it's supposed to be a whole movie about friendship, and it's focusing a lot on Orion Pax and D16 going from being brothers and friends to kind of how they start becoming enemies. So it sounds good. Sounds like a really good story. It takes place in Cybertron, so no human aspect. So there's still a lot of people kind of hating on the movie, which every movie ever made, there's a group of people hating on it. It's kind of funny though, because this is exactly what people have been asking for. A movie that takes place in Cybertron that doesn't have humans in it. So I think people are just kind of not liking it because of the casting choice. I can kind of see that, there's not really Transformer casts in there. Like, we don't have a Peter Cullen, we have people who aren't necessarily voice actors. So kind of an interesting decision with that. There was kind of a theory somewhere where they're bringing in Chris Hemsworth and all of them because they want to like do a Marvel Transformer crossover, or give Marvel filming rights to make Transformer movies, since they're doing so successful, and Paramount not as much. But I don't know, it's a theory. We can't knock it out of the books, but it's, I don't know. If you guys have heard that and have more information on that, share that in the comments. If this is your first time hearing it, what's your thoughts on it? Personally, I don't necessarily think this is what's going on. I don't think that's the plan. Personally. But speaking of Marvel, there is some Marvel news. Just a little tidbit. They updated the dates for Blade, because there is a Blade movie coming out. They're updating the release for Blade. There's a Thunderbolts movie coming out, which I'm kind of interested in that one, because yeah, they kind of opened it up, but not really. Like, they just very vaguely kind of brought in some characters from the Thunderbolts, more of like an Easter egg or cameos. But so I'm kind of interested in seeing how that goes, since the Thunderbolts are kind of like I don't know if you would consider them fully a hero group, but they're not necessarily a villain group either. They're just kind of like a super group. Blade, that's, I'm interested in that. It should be coming out sometime this year. I'll do a separate video talking about, going more into depth about Marvel and Marvel stuff. I'm just kind of like bringing in small things to kind of bulk out this video. I haven't made a video in a little bit, so just wanted to put in some small things. Marvel's not doing good. Not Marvel, but like Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel, and it's just they're not doing good. Captain Marvel hasn't really done the greatest since they switched it up. By that I mean Shazam was the original Captain Marvel. He was Captain Marvel, then they had Mary Marvel and their kid, but that writer moved from Marvel to DC. Marvel owns the name Captain Marvel. They took that name from him, They wanted that character back, so he brought Captain Marvel over to him, named him Shazam, tweaked his origin story a little bit, and now we have Shazam. But Captain Marvel, as it is, just they're not doing it. Like, go to a comic book shop, ask them about their Captain Marvel comics. Say how well are they selling. They're going to tell you they are not. They're not. They're not selling, and it's not because no one likes a female character. It's simply because those movies were just not very well written. The origin story was very well, like Captain Marvel just being just a humanoid scientist that has really like almost no powers versus the Captain Marvel we had, which was kind of a blue looking guy that had kind of nanotechnology. He had something that kind of morphed between different weapons, from like a spear to a gun to like a jetpack. Like, he had a little bit more going on and a more significant role to play, especially in the creation of Captain Marvel through Carol. And then there's just the whole thing with the Kree and how that movie was trying to subtly bring in the hidden invasion, like it's supposed to tie into that. Brie Larson also, I don't know, she's not necessarily a bad actress, but she's not necessarily a great one either. I feel like could have been other people who could have played the role a little bit better. But yeah, those movies, they're surviving, but they're barely. So I'm curious to see where that goes, because I feel like Captain Marvel was intended to have a major part in the Marvel universe, but the comics aren't doing well, the movies aren't doing well. How far they're going to take it, they're going to have to just deal with those movies not doing well and continue with their plan, or they're going to have to re-strategize. I don't know. Thunderbolts, we're talking about Thunderbolts. Blade, I forget the actor, but Wesley Snipes will not be in it. It will be a new actor. I was kind of hoping that Wesley Snipes would be why is his name escaping me? I just had it too. Oh, not Whistler. I don't know where that name's coming from. But the old man who tutored Blade, his name just escaped me. I'm sure it'll come up at some point, but as of right now, it's escaped me. It'd be cool to have Wesley Snipes play that character. I think that'd be cool. A little nudge, nudge, hint, hint. And since they like to, Disney is kind of making a thing to race swap things, there you go. That's a race swap everyone could get behind. We would love to see Wesley Snipes play that role. Well, I can't speak for everybody, but personally, I would like to see Wesley Snipes take that role. There was another Marvel update, but I can't remember. I'll probably bring that up into an actual Marvel video. So there is Marvel news coming out. There, a lot of Marvel things will be coming out. Phase 4 is slowly rolling in, so kind of excited to see that. Let's see. Anything else we could talk about? Video games. Some video game news. Again, I want to do a gaming channel. I need to set that up. I don't have a camera, and I kind of want to have my face there. I'm not just doing a talk over of a video game. Personally, that's how I want to do it. But yeah, I'm just trying to set that up. Try to decide what game. I probably want to start with the Guardians of the Galaxy game. Pop that in. Do a playthrough of that. Ark. It's getting a TV show, an animated TV show. The trailer just dropped this week. It looks good. I'm down for it. For anybody who's an Ark fan, they know exactly what they expect. For people who don't know what Ark is, I'm kind of surprised, but Ark is kind of, you get attached with that kind of a time-traveling alien type bracelet sent through time. Now you live in the age of dinosaurs, but you still have access to modern technology that just kind of drops. They don't know, like, don't remember if it was confirmed, if it was just the aliens dropping things, or if you're just kind of a place outside of time, and that's why there's dinosaurs and a little bit of modern tech. I think you just kind of get gifted with AKs and whatnot, but you live in a dinosaur age. You could ride on a dinosaur with an AK and just, you know, go heavy, build your own bases. It's a survivor RPG. Yeah. Would it be considered an RPG? I don't know. It's a survivor game with dinosaurs and guns. Now they're making it a TV show. Stay tuned for that. Other than that, yeah, everything's been doing good. Collection, like, again, a lot of things been coming in. I have been wanting to do a review on this guy, but there's so many reviews. I think I'm just going to finish this video off talking about him. Making sure I have nothing else to really talk about. Not really. Let's talk about Silverbolt. This is kind of a bulk of this. I did want to talk about Silverbolt. Because I wanted to do a review, but at the same time, there's already so many reviews out. I just kind of want to do a quick talk. First of all, these Beast War figures are great. A lot of these new Transformer toys are coming out. They're really good. But there is some things that could turn out better. You know, it's like some people, they don't like how animated Optimus Prime's super bulky and has a super big chest. I have no problem with that animated Prime, personally. I think he's fun. But, you know, I have a problem with... I kind of have a problem with, if you're going to base something off a animal, get the anatomy and structural design of that animal correct. And that is why I have a problem with Snarl, or not Snarl. Right, Snarl? No, Slug. Mean Sludge. But yeah, not Sludge. Slag, Snarl. I think it was Snarl. But anyway, his tail is coming out from right underneath him. And we have a similar situation with this guy. Now don't get me wrong, I love this figure. Like, look at that face sculpt. This whole front half, it looks amazing. You got, open mouth. His, like, legs can move. They do tab in, but like the posability is good. What I have a problem with is the backside. Multiple reasons. One, this is kind of a small thing. I'm gonna start small, going bigger. I don't like how throughout the back it is feathered texture instead of fur. That bothers me because if you think about, I think about how an animal like this would look in real life. Having, like, because look, he just has feathers and then it just goes straight to fur. Like, there's not even a fading thing. It's just feathers on his back, which throws me off a little bit. Like, not even birds have feathers that big. Like, not even all birds have feathers that big on their back. Like, there's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, or maybe you don't. I'm just speaking gibberish. I just woke up. I don't like the feathering texture. I wish it was more fur because that was how it looked like in the show. And it makes more sense in my mind for something to be that's primarily a wolf. Like, this is basically a wolf with wings. So the alpha DNA, if you will, is the wolf. And then the B DNA or the beta DNA is the eagle. It's not like an eagle with a wolf head, with wolf-like features. It's a wolf with eagle-like features. That being said, I still don't like the whole backside. For one, this bothers the shit out of me. This is wrong. It's inaccurate. Like, basically, here is like the back. This is the butt of the figure. And the tail feathers don't even surpass the butt of the figure. The hips go past the tail feathers. Here's the hips, here's the tail feathers. So it's basically like the tail feathers just kind of like, imagine it's like having a back, and it'll just like your tail feathers just kind of like pop out randomly halfway down your back. That's what this is, and that bothers me so much. Now that being said, this piece does look like it pops off. It looks like it's going to be like kind of a pain in the ass, but it looks like you can pop this off. So anybody who has a really nice integrated 3D printing machine, 3D printer. What's going on with my brain today this morning? Anybody who has a 3D printer could probably print off a new backside, have the tail feathers stick out a little bit more. I realized why they did it. They didn't want to have really big tail feathers because they wanted to focus a lot on the robot mode and the silhouette, and his tail feathers don't stick down that far in robot mode. But still, that bothers me. It bothers me how tiny his back legs seem compared to his front legs. You know, like if we straighten out his like front legs compared to his back legs, like you can't really straighten them out. It's basically like this is as straight as they get, and then you kind of push them forward. So it's like the posability for these back legs, like you can't, it's kind of awkward, but I understand engineering wise because that is kind of how he transforms. Just kind of wish they kind of gave this a little bit more posability and I don't know, made his legs a little bit, at least made these parts a little bit bigger, just a little bit. Maybe put him on a swivel too to get more of an accurate robot mode, but it's a good figure. It's what I expected, you know, it doesn't break any expectations. It meets basically all expectations, but that bothers me a lot. That's definitely takes points away from this figure, in my opinion. I'm bothered by things like that. Like if you're going to have something that has a tail or tail feathers, it needs to be put where a tail is. And not just like, oh, it's supposed to be a tail and it covers it, like, oh, from the front section it covers up most of it, but it still, like, you have them running and it's like it doesn't, if you want to have them like flying, it doesn't. I'm picky, I guess. That's just me. The transformation for this guy is fun. Again, I really wish this paint detail carried over to these feathers so it wasn't just gray like the original toy was, or, you know, the original toy they had the paint go all the way through. But this is basically just an updated original figure without the gimmicks. It doesn't have the whole wing pack thing. The transformation's a little bit different, where the head and back thing swivels instead of the legs clamping around it like the original one. So transformation's pretty fun. It's pretty smooth. But it brings, again, this is something, so it shows that we are still getting Beast War figures, which makes me happy. I'm really hoping that we finish Beast Wars and go on, and I hope we get at least the maximal cast for the other Beast War figure. Like, we already got Magmatron. Magmatron's kind of the big bad. Anyone else would be kind of a bonus. Like I said, I want a sling. But, you know, I would love to get the whole cast of all the Beast War things. But this shows that they definitely have a fan. And this also brings in, this is kind of going in more Season 3 territory. We're getting there's rumors of a Beast Wars Quick Strike. I imagine he'd probably be kind of a mini bot scale. Like, I don't think he'd be a core, but I don't necessarily think he'd be like a full deluxe. Probably be around that deluxe price point, but be kind of like the size of a Cliff Jumper or whatever. But yeah, robot mode, he looks great. And this is what I mean by his tail feathers. Like, they want to focus on the silhouette. If they made his tail feathers bigger, it'd be more like focusing down here. So I kind of understand they had to make some sacrifices, but I wouldn't mind this hanging out a little bit more. It kind of gives them kind of like a skirt, like a battle skirt kind of thing. but it also makes his beast mode more accurate. But I understand why they did it. It's just, you know, this is a really good robot mode. All the pose abilities there. His wings can't flip over his shoulders, but you can remove these and have him hold these as weapons. So that's really nice. I do feel that this is a 5-star robot mode. You know, this is still like an 8 to 9 out of 10 star figure. But yeah, it's fun. I just if you're going to make animals, please make them accurate. Like, you already are trying to go for animatically correct like texturing, so might as well make them look accurate, you know? I realize this is a mythical creature, but still. But yeah, that's, you know, I just wanted to come out, talk, explain. I've been super busy. Again, like, my whole stop motion for this guy got deleted, and that was bummed out. Went to go make a comic book video, and, you know, I decided to do that a little bit different. But I was like, man, it's been a little bit since I released the video. I had one person asking me, one of my friends, texting me asking when my next video is going to come out. So this is kind of for you, bud. This is for you. I don't know when the next review is going to be out. This is the closest you're going to get as a confirmation, was that Silverbolt. But I do want to get this Sideburn out. I'm trying to decide if I want to go to my original plans of stop motions and make the kind of a more a battle scene, if I kind of want to make this simple, and then at some point just kind of do a stop motion by itself with these guys. Or save it till I get that HasLab. So, I don't know. I'm trying to decide what to do without the stop motion part of it. Kind of irritated that it deleted. But all that being said, this video is kind of getting a little long, so I'm going to wrap this up by saying, remember, there's nothing wrong with being a geek, as long as you're feeling free, you're feeling you, do what you want to do what you can do. It's your life. It's your money. Don't let anybody tell you're too old to play, collect, or have fun. Until next time, YouTube Nation, peace and wow.